This week in Jamaica Now, Tradewind Citrus Limited served enforcement notice over Rio Cobre oil spill. Mom identifies Westmoreland siblings in viral video of bodies dumped in shallow grave. Justice Minister calls for Integrity Commission illicit enrichment reports, and Guyana and Venezuela agree to refrain from using force but fail to resolve territorial dispute. I'm Neville Graham, and this is Jamaica Now. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, has served an enforcement notice on Tradewind Citrus Limited after its investigation found that one of the company's facilities was a source of the recent oil spill in the Rio Cobre in St. Catherine. NEPA said the oil spill in the Bogwalk area came from a malfunctioning boiler at the old Jamaica Beverages plant, now owned and operated by Tradewind Citrus.
At this point, the agency is unable to quantify the volume of heavy fuel that has escaped. Nevertheless, NEPA's intervention involved engaging the assistance of Petrojam Limited in providing booms, absorbent pads, and substances to break down the oil, as well as technical advice for the cleanup exercise.
NEPA said it was unable to remove a good portion of the pollutant from the river, but there is still some amount of oil sheen visible on the water surface. NEPA has served an enforcement notice on Tradewind Citrus Limited to clean up and remediate the environment in the vicinity of the oil spill. It said further enforcement to include legal action against the company will follow. Residents living near the Rio Cobre had called for immediate action from the authorities to find the source of the oil spill and limit the devastation to protect the ecosystem and their livelihoods. The fish stock in the river was decimated because of previous incidents of pollution, but after restocking 6 months ago, fishers said the fish had multiplied considerably. In the meantime, the recent fish kill at Harbour Head in Kingston has also led to NEPA taking enforcement action against the operator of a facility in that area. It said it would take action against other facilities as it continues its investigations. NEPA said runoff from the facilities provides nutrients for algae in the water, which affects the oxygen level. The lack of oxygen resulted in suffocation of the fish. 2 Westmoreland siblings who were reportedly killed over scamming money have been identified by their mother after a video of their lifeless bodies surfaced and went viral late last week. 22-year-old Kenesha Moody and her 20-year-old brother Kerrick Moody from Top Lincoln in Grange Hill, Westmoreland, were reported missing shortly after they were last seen at a fast food establishment in the parish. Their mother, Stephanie Edwards, confirmed in a telephone interview that the bodies seen in the video being buried in a shallow dirt grave beside each other are her children. The mother said she had not seen her children for over a week, which is not the usual practice for them. She lamented that she had raised her children in the best way she could until they were old enough to be on their own.
Tell you the truth, you know. Me grow them the best way me can. Right? Grow them up and I'll try my best with them. You know, them becomes adult. Them take them own part. Them want to do them own thing. Some things where they do, I don't know because them keep everything in a secret. So if you see them or you call them or you ask them anything, they not give you a full story because you never know. So I am so surprised when she get work there at Black River and they find out that she leave the work and she sit down home, so she do her own business, do buy and sell online.
However, she confirmed that they were reportedly involved in lottery scamming.
Is there any truth that they were involved in scamming? Are there any truth that they were involved in scamming? Lottery scamming?
Yes. So that's what the vice note say now, say I hit them bingo food and them go around bars. So that is a so me get it. Say that are the problem.
On Sunday, Deputy Superintendent Adrian Hamilton, acting commander of the Westmoreland Police Division, said the police had not yet been able to make any determination regarding the location of the siblings. Students of Mona High School in St. Andrew have found themselves in trouble following a boisterous celebration of their school's victory in the Manny Cup finals. The celebrations turned ugly on Monday as students stormed into neighboring Jamaica College during what appeared to be a motorcade. In a video recording of the incident, students were seen running towards Jamaica College's gate while making gun sounds and shouting offensive slurs towards the school security guard. Mona High School principal Kevin Jones said the students who hurled the disrespect on video will be punished. He also apologized to the staff and students of Jamaica College and the wider community. In a social media post on Instagram, Craig Butler, the coach of the Manny Cup team from Mona High, who also participated in the parade, expressed his disappointment at the students' behavior. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck is urging the Integrity Commission to deliver its reports of investigations into the 6 parliamentarians and 28 public officials who are being probed for illicit enrichment. At a meeting of the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee of Parliament on Tuesday, Chuck argued that the anti-corruption body has been given the requisite financial resources to deliver more effectively on its mandate of fighting corruption. The committee met to review 4 reports sent by the Commission relating to 4 employees of Petrojam who breached the Integrity Commission law by not submitting their statutory declarations.
For me, it was a bit of a disappointment when I sat in Parliament waiting for these 4 reports to come, because the Integrity Commission released a press release to say that 4 reports are coming and will be tabled. I don't know how Member Paul will, but I think that all of us in Parliament were waiting on these 4 reports because a few of the reports earlier were, quite revealing. To have these 4 reports, Chairman, just about not filing statutory declaration, to my mind, was like a squib, So I would say, Chairman, most persons sitting in Parliament thought that maybe the reports had to do with the illicit 6 persons who were being charged for it. And I want to say, Chairman, we need to hear from the Integrity Commission, when are those reports? If the number of 6 and 28, whether those matters have been cleared up, and if they have not been cleared up, the Commission should report on them as soon as possible.
The Justice Minister said it should not take the Commission a year to complete its probe into the 6 parliamentarians and 28 public officials who allegedly violated the law. In his comments during the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee meeting, Chuck indicated that the Commission has been allocated $1.5 billion this financial year to carry out its mandate. The Jamaican Bar Association, JBA, is strongly objecting to consideration being given by Parliament to amend the Child Care and Protection Act, CCPA, for mandatory minimum sentences to be imposed on children for certain offenses. According to the JBA, judges will be forced to impose those sentences regardless of the circumstances of the case or the individual offender's background. The observations were noted in the submissions prepared by the Criminal Law Committee of the JBA to be sent to the Joint Select Committee of Parliament considering the bill proposing changes to the CCPA. Attorney at Law Tamika Harris, who chairs the Criminal Law Committee, told the Gleaner that the mandatory minimum sentence for children as a deterrent makes no sense. The committee is calling for a comprehensive review of the CCPA and removal of the distinction between children under 14 years from those over 14 years. The committee pointed out that there was evidence that mandatory minimum sentencing increases the incarceration rate and does not serve as a deterrent. The leaders of Guyana and Venezuela promised in a tense meeting Thursday that neither side would use threats or force against the other, but failed to reach agreement on how to address a bitter dispute over a vast border region rich with oil and minerals that has concerned many in the region. Instead, a joint commission composed of the foreign ministers of both countries and other officials will address the problem, with a report expected within 3 months. Guyanese President Ifran Ali and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro agreed to meet again in Brazil within 3 months, according to an 11-point declaration read at a press briefing late Thursday. The dispute over Essequibo escalated when Venezuela reported that its citizens had voted in a December 3 referendum to claim 2/3 of their smaller neighbor. In the meantime, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith has explained Jamaica's absence from a meeting involving Guyana and Venezuela. Several CARICOM leaders attended the meeting held in St. Vincent, and Jamaica's opposition leader, Mark Golding, questioned the absence of Jamaica. Johnson-Smith noted that the meeting was not a CARICOM initiative and that the countries present were from the southern and eastern Caribbean, with special relationships with Venezuela. She argued that Jamaica is in the north, leading on matters relating to Haiti. Caribbean literary giant and professor emeritus of English at the University of the West Indies, UWI, Edward Baugh, died on Sunday. He was 87. Culture Minister Olivia Grange hailed Professor Baugh and noted that his passing is a huge loss to Jamaica and the Caribbean. Grange said that Baugh will be remembered for a distinguished academic career during which he focused on West Indian literature, especially the study of Anglophone Caribbean poetry, and in particular the work of Nobel laureate Derek Walcott. Meanwhile, the UWI described Baugh as a quintessential scholar and gentleman who exemplified the ideals of the institution, both as a student and later as an academic who spent 35 immensely productive and intellectually impactful years there as a teacher, writer, administrator, and scholar. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner, and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, turn on your notification, and subscribe today. I'm Never Graham, and before we go, Gwendolyn Agatha Ellis celebrates being 100 and fabulous.
Grandma has been a dear grandma to me. That's what I call her, grandma. And grandma, this evening, I'm going to leave a thought for you. In a garden where flowers has been planted and the soil has been toiled, she bloomed so bright. She blacked the gloom of the sun and lightened the world with her beauty. With diamonds and gold, you brighten the heart of many. Grandma, you are the blessed of God. And with God's love, you should be cherished. Happy birthday, Grandma. I love you. From Cheryl.
100 years and she's not speaking anything out of order. No, some people